Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be breaking down the game that won me my ring this past weekend here in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM, because it's the perfect game that showcases just, I think, how to play successfully against the toxic off-ball unlimited cheese playstyle and how to have success with it against playing that playstyle. Because even in my videos sometimes, y'all see I struggle with it sometimes, and this is a great gameplay that actually I think showcases how to have success against it. And before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 20,000 subscriber mark on the channel. Trying to hit that by the end of the month of February. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's not waste our time. This dude is actually CJ2K. I am JC2K, so it's like a mirror matchup. His team was good, not insane. He had Michael Beasley. Great dot first possession, by the way. He's off-balling there. Magic, Paul George. A lot of size. 6'9" and taller, basically across the board on his team, which is a very, very tall squad, no doubt about it. So an interesting matchup without a doubt. And we start off this game honestly really well defensively. He's coming off the screen here. I X-switched this beautifully with Tyson Chandler, guard it well. That bailout pass was not a great pass, honestly, but he turns the ball over anyway. The next pass, and KP with the steal. We run in transition pretty effectively, and I think I get a dunk on this possession. Yeah, Tyson Chandler sets the screen here. He comes here. He switches immediately. He switches it. I dump it down to Tyson. I get a great shove animation. That shove animation right there pretty much is going to guarantee a standing dunk every single time, and we're able to get ourselves a standing there. Unfortunately, the quality, I will admit, is not like insane. I don't know why the quality is so crappy on the replay here, which is kind of annoying, so I apologize. The quality isn't amazing, but bad shot selection here. This dude did not start off the game great. I'm not gonna lie. He started the game playing poorly. That's a poor shot for sure, and he immediately just gets in here. KP 7'3". He's just too big for Michael Beasley, and that's an easy drop step for a bucket. 7-0 lead. Immediately you see the switching every single screen happening defensively, though, and it'll become even more blatant, even more obvious as the game progresses the way he wants to play, both offensively and defensively. It actually becomes a bit ridiculous, in my opinion, as the game progresses. But offensively, as you can see, there's no actual dribble moves, there's no timing burst, there's no real attempt at skillful offense. It's just a lot of run around in circles, and that pretty much is a common theme on a lot of players in Unlimited. Great. I mean, the offense was okay there. At least I could have had an open three ball with LeBron if I had just gotten my feet set off of that tray escape. And then I kind of threw a risky pass inside. Off ball in here in the corner, just standing in the corner on Paulo Banchero. Y'all can see the way he's playing defense. And my offense is pretty horrible here. Going to the rim there, nothing open. And KP gets a board, thankfully, which is saves my offense a little bit there, because that was not a beautiful possession. And you can see, again, he's just sitting in the corner, off ball and switching. He's got his off ball switch all game. You can tell that's just what he's going to try to do. Luckily, Tyson Chandler with another back down, another drop step on Michael Beasley. You can immediately tell I'm starting to abuse switches a little bit. Again, trying to get down there and switch with SGA. He gets around me. He gets himself a dunk. And I'm not going to try to show this whole game, but I'm going to show the majority of it. I know it's going to be a longer video. I hope y'all enjoy the longer videos. I got called for a charge. They're kind of annoying. He calls a timeout. We go through the timeout, yada, yada, yada. Let's get back to the action. Standing dunk, 9-4 game here. This is, again, I went 3-0 for my ring, so this is my fourth game, my last game, ideally, for my ring. Good dump down to Tyson there again, gets an open dunk. But y'all can see it's going to be a lot of staying in the corner on defense, and that means opportunities offensively are going to be a bit limited at times. He misses an open shot again. Like I said, this dude definitely makes some mistakes in this game. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to sit here and say this dude is an incredible Unlimited player. I think his record was like 130-80 or something like that, which is, I mean, it's pretty good for Unlimited. My record, for context, is 29-8. So I think that's pretty solid. 29-8. It's not nearly as good as it would have been a couple of years ago, but it's still not bad. But I honestly think 130-80-ish, that's actually pretty good, like a 70% win rate. And you could see, there you go, the first possession where he truly just goes to this magic mash offense. You'll notice he kind of likes that magic mash offense. That is why he is starting Magic Johnson, is so that he can pretty much run switch everything on defense, and he has a ton of size in the court. Everybody's at least 6'9". And then when he is offensively, he can space the floor 5 out and try to mash with Magic or whoever his height advantage is, which is definitely a pretty toxic play style. But unfortunately, even this year where mashing is a little less effective, it can still be pretty effective. You can see it here again. He's just sitting on the hash, not even trying to interact defensively. I dump it down to KP and did have just enough time to get that standing dunk off there. You'll notice running pick and roll when against switch all, where the big, your tallest player, gets switched on to basically their shortest, weakest interior defensive player, is pretty close to the best way to beat it. There you go again. 5 out with Magic, just run in my face, mash. Not a skillful offense, but it works very effectively, and you'll notice he does it a heck of a lot. Going right back to it there, unfortunately. Tyson is wide open for mid-range. I should have just shot it, but I get an open. I thought I was going to be open there. I can actually, looking back, I thought I was open again. But again, Tyson, he's a big dude. He's got halfback down Punisher. The drop step's still pretty effective. We're not quite at the point where every single wing, every single point guard can guard like insanely well in the interior, so that at least is good. And again, he's just running around with magic, running through bodies, trying to get to the rim, trying to stand up, trying to mash. He's doing the same thing every single play, and it certainly is tough to stop, unfortunately. But, yeah, like I said, you'll notice one of the best ways to beat this is just legitimately to just go at their face, to create the switch with their shortest player. That was a bad take there. I should not have gone up with that. But that is certainly one of the most effective ways. He runs through him there, gets himself a dunk. Good for him, I guess. 6 seconds left in the first quarter. I get a backdoor. I get myself a dunk, and I believe that ends the quarter. Yes, 19-11. We go into the second quarter. I get a foul first possession, and here we are. He's in the post again with magic. Look at this. Post up, drop step offense. He wants to mash with magic every single play, but luckily it didn't get in the animation he wanted that time. We get a late contest, and that is a poor offensive possession to start the second quarter. Doing a good job offensively, defensively. Playing straight up, not overreacting to the annoying low-skill offense, and getting a good amount of stops in this game so far, despite the annoyance of the offense. Sending a backdoor there to KP. I was trying to get a standing dunk, and I did. Was that super skillful? No. Is backdooring, especially the guy that they're using, a very effective way, again, to beat off-ball defense? 100%. Backdoors beat CPU defense very effectively, and they can catch the guy who's off-balling sleeping a lot of times when you off-ball the player that they are off-balling on. So, or when you back cut that player, I should say. Again, he's trying to mash with magic. It's not... Just got to do my best to wall it up, not jump, not put myself in a bad position, try my best to get stops. SGA doing a pretty darn good job of it, to be honest. SGA is obviously a very good defensive PG. That's probably a free dunk there if he doesn't get called for that foul, but he does get called for the foul. It's fine. Again, I maybe have a mid-range fade there or something with Tyson if I want. I'm just trying to use Tyson's size, though, and Paulo Banchero is just, he's 6'10", and he's not watching it. That is a great block for Paulo for sure. He used that bailout badge again, standing dunk at this dude. Again, he just wants to run at the rim, and he wants to dunk the ball. That is his offense, and there is nothing I am going to do to stop it sometimes. Again, he's just sitting on the hash defensively. His CPU is switching for him on the ball. Again, I run the offense here. His CPU would have switched, except for the fact that I rejected the screen. I reject the screen, get inside with Tyson, and standing dunk again. Again, I'm rejecting the screen, slipping the center, getting the center inside, trying to get a standing dunk positioning, trying to get a height misadvantage, trying to create mismatches and trying to find buckets, because that's one of the only ways to effectively score against that off-ball defense with consistency. And imagine that, 11 of his points. He has 4 points, 2 of 7 from the field. The rest of his team, 11 points, 5 of 6 from the field with Magic Johnson. He's just trying to mash my face in every play. I get a little bit of a lucky foul call there. I'll take the foul. And 15-25. I think I blocked the shot here, whatever. I have the ball back offensively. At this point, I've built a little bit of a lead. That's annoying that I'm getting the ball reached in. That's something else people will do a lot in Unlimited this year. If they do on ball, they're going to reach a ton if they are playing on ball. Again, slipping, he forced to help out too far out the corner there. But slipping the screen, especially if they're going to sit off of the ball. If they're not guarding the guy who is, if they're not guarding the center, or they're not guarding the man guarding the screener. That's a terrible shot, by the way. Just a really bad shot. At this point, it looked like I was going to flood. I really didn't wind up flooding this game for a long time. Like, I thought I was going to go up 15-20 here, and unfortunately that didn't really wind up being the case. But for a second here, I thought I was at least going to be able to. But as I say again, slipping the screener, creating that mismatch in the switch all, and hopefully getting your player in front of the switching defender as well and closer to the rim for an opportunity for a standing dunk with like a really good standing dunking athletic center can be very, very effective and one of the best ways to beat this off ball. And that's one of the main ways, really. I think that is kind of the main way that my offense is structured in this game. D-Book is now in, my bench is in. I got AD wide open on the slip, and unfortunately just weird catch animations and stuff, and it's just not able to catch the ball and get in position to dunk, and then by the time he's able to kick it to the corner, that's guarded as well. D-Book runs around and gets contested at the rim, and the shot doesn't go in. I thought I had his head of steam there, was going to get a dunk, and unfortunately did not get a dunk there, but again, you got to live with it. It is what it is. It's challenging to score on this off ball. That is not a good take at all. Wimby just eats that ball literally for dinner and just munches it up. So very nice there. Good burst with AD, honestly. Quick slip in the screen again. He almost got back to it. That was probably one of his best stick plays of the whole game. Actually, a very nice manual defensive play there, but does not get the steal with KP, and I get myself a stand up with Wemby. One thing I will say about Wemby, I know he's like, I wouldn't say outdated, but he's a little bit of an older card. Good shot, by the way, with AD. That was just a nice shot right there. Had a little bit of space, and he took advantage of it. Wemby is really, really nice when it comes to defeating this type of switch all off-ball meta, because his ability to slip the screen can be really, really effective. I tried to get the rim to the rim there for a stand dunk with D-Book, and maybe I had it. I really, again, should be going more pick and roll and trying to come off the screen and force the switch and get my slip than anything else with D-Book and Wemby. That's what I should be doing right here to create the size mismatch and create that interior mismatch. And I think I go pick and fade again here with Beasley. At this point in the game, I'm running too much pick and fade, to be honest. Luckily, Wemby slips behind anyway and still gets himself a stay dunk. And you see him now trying to go into his settings and adjust his settings to try to guard against the slips, because he's trying to basically let his off-ball CPU guard slips for him. And this is something you will see really, really commonly, is the way that they're just basically trying to get their off-balls to switch everything. And it can work really effectively if you're not precise and intentional with the way that you try to beat the off-ball. Michael Beasley, again, slipping behind, got him not really stuck, unfortunately. Was trying to with Pippen, but didn't. Trying to run around him, there's literally nothing there at all. You can't just run around a CPU. It's not going to have success this year if it's a good CPU anyway. And I get plucked by Amin Thompson. He gets the ball, free dunk, just annoying. And I'm just like, ugh. I'm annoyed, because being able to play defense and get stops without actually playing defense and just sitting in the corner or on the hash every single play gets on my nerves. Regardless, I drive the ball to the rim, terrible take, into the half, and I'm just annoyed. I'm only up 8. I feel like I was about to flood. I thought I was about to flood. I was up, 13? And now it's an 8-point game, and I'm just irked at halftime. Go into the half, but I know that one of the most important things, especially when you play against this type of stuff, is to stay composed. You have to stay composed and play smart. Otherwise, you will tilt, and then you will lose, and then you will really be annoyed. But great defense by D-Book, who is now a much better defender. I'm going to be honest. Pink Diamond D-Book, much, much better defender than the Diamond D-Book is. So that can be something that that could be a really, really good card. And then stop it in the mid-range. That's a good shot. I do not understand why I got to slow down there. I got to slow down on that shot. And I literally made a comment as I shot that. I was very confused by that. And then he hits like a weird midi fade in between two defenders. I'm annoyed. I'm only up 6 at this point. It feels like he's been getting lucky and I have not. And I'm just kind of irked. But getting down here with D-Book, and for spacing, I don't know why I have literally AD and Michael Beasley additionally sitting in the paint. And I'm just, at this point, I'm frustrated. I don't know why I go to this 2-man action here. That probably wasn't my smartest offensive take. At this point, he's in danger, or I'm in danger, I should say, of letting him fully back into this game. And at this point, I'm pretty much letting him fully back into this game. Around me for a dunk. It is now a 4-point game with 4 minutes left in the third quarter after I was up 13. I've pretty much thrown away my whole lead. At this point, I got to stay composed. I got to start playing a little bit smarter on both ends. I turned the ball over, and I do believe, am I wrong, or does he get a 3 here? I can't remember what happens. I feel like, I don't think he gets a 3 here. I think I get a stop, and I think this is where I start to turn it back in my favor a little bit, but I'm not entirely sure at this point. Driving to the rim here with Scotty. He's just trying to mash D-Book. Again, he's trying to take advantage of the weakest defender, trying to mash. He does a lot of this game. Did a ton of it in the first half, obviously, with Magic. Not doing as much right now without Magic on the floor, but I finally got a stop. There we go. I finally got a stop, and that was really important because I was not getting stops the last few possessions, and I was struggling to score as well. And then I go to this Wembanyama slip, and I'm just like, give the ball to the 7'4" dude, switch him onto a 6'7" dude. You dang near got a foot height mismatch. Go up and score. It's not that complicated, and when you're going up against switch all, create a mismatch. That's a mismatch. It's not that complicated. So I did just that, and we got ourselves an easy bucket with Wemby and got ourselves back under control on the offensive end of the court, which is important. And then he goes up with just a stupid take. Honestly, if he hadn't double pumped that layup, I think he probably makes it, but I can't be certain. Either way, he didn't make that one. Again, I've created a switch here. I want to take advantage of the switch. Wemby's coming here. I have him rolling. I quick slip Wemby. I throw the ball to him, and I dunk the ball. It's a 7-inch, 8-inch height advantage. I'm taking advantage of it every single time. I don't care that Scottie Pippen is a very good defender. He's still going to struggle against a 7'4" dude. Plain and simple. That's just the way the white game works. Unfortunately, he's wide the freak open, but he misses it because he's not good at the video game. And now I'm back up 8 with the ball, and all of a sudden I've gone from a 4-point game where I felt like I was literally throwing away my whole lead to a great, great position. He's jumping. He's flustered. Wemby's standing dunk, and Wembanyama has come off the bench, given us 10 points, and been a huge boost. And I honestly think that Wembanyama, simply because of his size, can still be one of the most important and most valuable cards in the game, especially against this type of play, because this type of gameplay will beat a lot of players and even a lot of good players, because it is hard to beat this off-ball defense. But if you can create these mismatches, create these switches, and create these size advantages, especially like I was able to do in a lot of these possessions with a player like Wembanyama, you can have a lot more success. Again, I'm trying to get to it this time. Unfortunately, it's just too late in the possession to really have a ton of success. I'm not able to get a good shot off. That was not a good possession, but that's really our first bad possession in a while. I think he misses another wide open shot here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, bad reach by Booker, and he misses a wide open, and then I come down and I think I score. So that was very effective as well. He did miss a couple of open shots, no doubt about that. I think I get a standing here. Yeah, Scotty just gets a standing, and that works beautifully. I think I foul here with Wembanyama. He makes a couple free throws, and with a minute left in the third quarter, I'm up 8. So, like, the game certainly is not, I would say, at this point in a situation where I'm particularly secure. But again, I'm creating mismatches. I have a size advantage there. I get a wide open 3 out of it, and I knock it down because he's trying to get KP back on Wemby, and he just got his positioning mixed up again. And mismatches are going to create my offensive opportunities, and that is really why all of a sudden my offense has started to flow absolutely beautifully, because now I'm literally going to this Wembanyama pick and roll every single play and attacking this switch every single play. He switches it again. Guess what I'm doing? I'm throwing it to Wemby, and I'm going up and 1. I am going to abuse this now because I have realized that I can just beat it every single play if I just stop being stubborn and trying to score skillfully and stop trying to 3-hunt and just go dunk the ball with Wemby every single play. I'm going to have a ton of success. And this right here is pretty, I'm not going to say it's a cheat code, but against the bots at least, I'm not saying this dude's a horrific player, because offensively, I mean, he runs around in circles. He's not good. This dude's not a good 2K player in my opinion, but he is sweaty enough and toxic enough of a player where players like this can be really, really frustrating, especially this year with the way that the unlimited gameplay is. And I think this really does showcase the ability that this can give you to just run your offense and space the floor so much more effectively. I go right back to it, pick and roll. If I get in touch with the screen, it's going to be a switch, and then as soon as it's a switch, I have some sort of mismatch right here. Again, I have a mismatch. Unfortunately, I'm forced to pick up the ball, and he strips the ball. Like, that's just a bad animation. Not a lot I can really do about it. But again, the concept was right and the process was right, even if the result wasn't great. And just like in real life basketball, if the process is good, even with a bad result, you kind of live with it because you want good process. Because with good process, it brings good results at the end of the day. I try to backdoor Wemby. He won't cut. Nobody cuts for me, and I'm not able to get off a good shot. He blocks me to end the quarter. And unfortunately, I'm only up, what, 10, 8, something like that going into the fourth. Not as much as I'd like, only 8. But going into the fourth, I do get the ball, and I bring my starters back in, and I'm out here like, okay, so it's a little bit tough for the 2-man here, simply because he now has Magic as his point guard instead of a slightly smaller point guard, Amon Thompson, a couple inches shorter. So I don't quite have the physical mismatch that I had before, so I'm going to try to reject the screen and make him work when it comes to switching the screens. I create a mismatch here of sorts, I guess, with Tyson and draw a foul, so that will work. Resets the shot clock at the very minimum, allowing us to run some more offense. Again, I'm trying to reject the screen, trying to create physical mismatches. Not exactly happening. Again, though, you know what? I'm going to draw step. LeBron's big, strong, physical. He's going to be able to get to good spots, and he's able to get to a good spot there. And again, you kind of got to play how you got to play, unfortunately, at the end of the day, if you are going to play against this off-ball defense, because it's tough to beat. Nice little bump from Wemby, or from KP, though. 10-point lead here. Braun with the ball, going to the tray escape, getting off this screen, wide open 3, and I start getting toxic. And I'm not going to lie, he deserved it. It was a fair pause. The way he's playing defense, I'm going to start pausing. And I'm not apologizing for it at the end of the day. I'm not doing it. It is what it is. I'm going to pause when I feel like pausing people who play with toxicity. He's trying to go back to this Magic runaround offense, but we just switched LeBron onto Magic, so now it's a little bit harder. And in general, at this point, he's just running around in circles and doesn't have anything. Bad Euro step there. Takes a terrible take. Don't even really know what he was looking for. At this point, 13-point lead. He's starting to get flustered. Start sliding the CPU a little bit. Braun gets into a fat stop for a 3-ball, and I green it, and that is beautiful. 16-point lead. All of a sudden, it's getting floody. And this game quickly goes from 8 to 16. I mean, in a minute, it's gone from 8 to 16. He hop steps through with Magic, gets a 2. But at this point, one of the things I will say against, when you play against offense like this, backdoor offense, mash offense, whatever it is, 5-out and mash with Magic, running backdoor, that type of stuff that can be very, very tough to stop when it comes to consistent 2-point scoring. If you don't overcorrect and give up threes, and you play patient, smart, as good as you can defense, and then run effective, smart offense, you will more often than not win the game, because eventually if you build a 6, 8, 10-point lead and are able to get a few stops, twos aren't going to beat threes. And if their main source offense, like this dude, his main source offense was twos. But at the end of the game, I get a fluke stop there. Fluke stops are eventually occasionally going to go your way. But you get a couple stops, you get things going, you can really open things up. And at this point, I have opened up the game big time. We're about to flood the crap out of this dude, which is exactly what I wanted to do. And this can be the result if you play smart and you play well. And at this point, I mean, you can take it if you want. Again, that's a bad take. He's going to get free throws, so he's going to get points out of possession. Oh, well. But, like, the process is great. And that right there is what I'm trying to do at the end of this game. Is I'm trying to, I mean, playing smart creates the mismatches, creates the opportunities, creates the runs, creates the opportunities to beat kids like this that otherwise will give you a very competitive close game. Because once you go up 10, if you get a couple stops, they get flustered. Their offense doesn't work anymore. It becomes a lot easier to get these dudes just flooded. And for example, like this game goes right here. Not my best rotation there. That was poor defense as a whole. But as a whole, you see the end of this game very much turning into a flood, which is definitely the desired result and was definitely a very enjoyable ending to this game for me, because playing against people who play like this is just not something that I enjoy. And I know there is a big portion of the community that plays defense like this and to a certain extent plays offense like this, running around in circles, trying to dunk the ball every single play, trying to attack the shortest player on the court, just mash their face in every single play, and then defensively is wanting to sit on the center and off ball every single play. And if you play smart against it, you're not going to beat it, or you can beat it, and that is exactly what we do in this game. We wind up winning this game pretty comfortably. I don't think we need to watch the last minute of the game, but as a whole, we wind up flooding this dude pretty badly. I think it was something along the lines of 68 to there you go, 68-48, and that's a really good win, and that was a really fun game, too. So I think that game, we definitely, I mean, I unlocked something in the second half of that game that really opened up the game there, attacking the mismatches with Wembanyama, and that's something that I think could be a huge, huge tool, and I think something that I do want to focus on, or did want to focus on in this video. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I know y'all enjoyed the unlimited gameplay. Again, I apologize that the quality of the video wasn't the greatest visually, but this is the best I have, unfortunately, of this recording. I thought this was a great game to talk about, and I know y'all enjoy unlimited gameplay and that type of video. So that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you want to watch more unlimited gameplay, go follow me on Twitch. That is where I stream pretty much anytime I'm playing unlimited. And yeah, hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.